Hello people, it's your boy Usmaan back again with another fan calling. This is the second segment of our fan calling show. We're just piloting it. We're seeing if you guys are going to enjoy it. Obviously, first and foremost, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. But listen, that's aside. Usmaan Talks United, if you want to tune in or you want to get involved, you want to call in. Like, obviously, we've got a few guests in the queue waiting. If you want to call in, just go to the Twitter, Usmaan Talks United, hit the link and join the queue. Anyways, first and foremost, just going to get the guests on as it works. If you don't know, everyone gets an opportunity to have a say. Patiently wait, obviously, in the queue. You can watch the show at the same time. That kind of stuff. Get your comments in. Let's get it in there. Manchester United winning 3-1 to West Ham. What are your thoughts? First and foremost, gonna get the home run, the biggest smile on YouTube. It's League Sport. Let's go, bro. What do you say, G?
Listen, I'm happy with the win. I'm happy with the win, and that's the bottom line for me. We have to analyze. We have to talk about everything that happened in the game from start to finish. But we knew, especially after the result midweek, and the performance midweek wasn't a problem. The result midweek, of course, some of the tactical decisions, substitutions, etc. This was a massive, massive game, and it's a start of a very big week, having Leipzig on midweek and Man City on the weekend. We had to get this win when we had the chance to really put the pressure on the rivals in and around the top four. And the first half was poor. Like, it was terrible. I couldn't wait for it to end. I was like, you know what? I'll take this 1-0 at halftime, go inside, and we can't put in as bad a performance. And unfortunately, this has been the trend right throughout, like the last, 9 games we won in a row. Away from home, we always go behind. So something there needs to change. But the fact that we do come back each time also is a positive on one side, even though there's a negative on another side. Yeah. He made 2 substitutions, like he did against Southampton. Both times it seemed now it was enforced because obviously David De Gea was injured against Southampton, and now I'm hearing that Cavani actually had a bit of a muscle injury. Why he took him off.
Was actually enforced as well.
Apparently, that's what he said in his interview. But definitely, the substitutions changed the game. Bruno, Rashford, he was brilliant in the second half. Yeah. It was the first time when he came on that we were actually running in behind, that we were actually direct. We were actually causing their defense some problems because everyone in that first half, and I'm not saying Cavani he didn't deserve to come off, but everyone was coming short for the ball. And West Ham kind of just saw everything. Exactly. And that's what Rashford does. Unfortunately, Rashford looks like he's carrying a bit of injury. He always does.
We've got too many injuries.
I know.
Rashford is injured. We know
Rashford is injured. We have to bring him on.
But you mentioned obviously, the first half. Look, I want to be positive. First and foremost, what you said straight away is exactly what I tweeted before the game. I don't care how we get these 2 points. I couldn't care less. Of course, you want to see a good performance. You want to see the boys, putting this, a solid performance down. But we were absolutely shocking. As you already mentioned, against PSG, we probably deserve to win the PSG game, and we definitely deserve to lose this game. So it's gone the other way around. Of course, people can decide which one they would have preferred. But like at the end of the day, we got the job done. You mentioned the character and the subs in particular in the second half, right? Bruno and Rashford, have they just showed how important they are to this team? Because they've come on and the complexity of the game or the game in this whole has took a 180. I know West Ham kind of sat back to an extent, but even after our goal, even with 2-1 up, they could not get out. We were just completely dominating the game.
100%. And it pains me. I put out a tweet about full time and I said, I long for the day where all Man United fans can just praise and criticize our players based on basically what happens. No agendas, no backhanded compliments, just based on what we're seeing, because we all do the same thing.
Honestly.
And you look at Bruno and Rashford, and whether you like their style of play, I understand their style of play may not be as aesthetically pleasing as what you prefer. You might want someone who takes care of the ball a bit more, whether it's a Van der Beek or Pogba. You might want someone who's a bit more technical, like Anthony Martial, or a better finisher in Mason Greenwood. But to deny their impact on this team from the moment they both joined the team, so Rashford from when he came in 2016 burst onto the scene, and Bruno since February, to deny their impact is it's undeniable. You cannot do it. So I think they showed today again how important it is. I'm actually a bit disappointed that they had to show it, because I wanted the players out there, the Pogbas, the Martials, the Greenwoods, Van der Beek, and I'm not criticizing, I'm not slamming those players in terms of how good they are, but I wanted them to go out there, do the job, so Bruno and Rashford can get the rest
Yeah,
that they clearly
yeah.
deserve. And unfortunately, we have to bring them on, but it's a squad game, it's a team game, and everyone has to help another. And it shows that, Bruno and Rashford don't come on like sulking, thinking, oh, why do I have to do it again? No, they say, well, listen, it is what it is. Maybe next game, I'm the one who's been taken off, and the teammate has to come in and rescue the game. So the camaraderie in the team and the spirit is definitely there, shown that at least over the last 9 games away from home.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of the camaraderie in the team, 110%. You've shown in every single, the last 3 games in particular, that we've shown great character. The PSG game, of course, that was frustrating, but I still think Rashford and Bruno are massively influential in that game. Martial sadly not taking a chance in that game. But just coming back to the whole agenda thing, look, for me personally, you're going to have people saying, and I've already seen people tweeting, I've not really checked to it because obviously I was setting the stream up, but I've seen already, or where the Ollie out at halftime haters, or whatever you want to call it. Look, if that's the first thing you're thinking about, right? After we just won 3-1, just what's the point? There's so many grown adults on that platform. Right? I know some of them are kids, obviously, but we're all adults at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? That's so pathetic. Like, as you mentioned, who gives a shit? Like, I'm a massive fan of Pogba, right? And we'll touch on him shortly. I'm a huge fan of Martial. Martial's getting blasted. I'm defending him left, right, center. But at the end of the day, if Martial's not good enough for Manchester United, I'm not going to be deluded to the fact and say, oh, let's just keep him because I love the guy. Like, at the end of the day, the only thing I care about is Manchester United.
Simple.
It's not about this Ollie in, Ollie out stuff. At the end of, all that matters is us doing well. So, like, of course, regarding that as well. But what are your thoughts on Pogba? Pogba needed that goal.
Yeah, listen.
It was beautiful.
That first half was so bad that if Pogba didn't do what he did in that second half, he would have been absolutely slated off social media. I'm sure some people will slate him anyway, and some people might try.
I thought he played okay in the first. I was about to say wow, but I thought he played okay in the first. So compared to everybody else.
See, that's the thing. Compared to everyone else, fair enough. But compared to Pogba, but I'm saying this.
Everybody else.
But I'm saying compared to Pogba's standards, he was very, very poor. Obviously, that's credit to the man because he's such a good player. We know what to expect from him. And unfortunately, this season, he hasn't done it on a consistent basis. When he came off the bench against PSG, he was brilliant. When the game against Leipzig, it was brilliant. But there's been too many intermittent performances, and overall, he hasn't been good enough. Today, Solskjaer, for me, trusted him and Martial to go out in the second half again, when he could have taken anyone could have come off in that first half. But those 2 players, I think they needed the game, they needed the confidence. Unfortunately, Martial came off injured, so he wasn't able to get a goal. But Pogba, listen, that strike, and that's what I'm saying, because we know he's got that quality. When he doesn't perform in the way that he did in that second half, you're even more disappointed because you're like, you are levels above McTominay. Your performance shouldn't be on the same level, because if your performance on the same level, I can't criticize McTominay. That's his level. You're supposed to be up there. Listen, that second half was so important. I love Pogba. I want him. If Pogba's successful at Man United, we are successful. That's how good he is. So I want him to perform well. And that's goal of the month already. We're only the 4th of December. Goal of the month, 5th of December, whatever it is. Goal of the month.
At least it's not going to be a penalty. It's not. At least that goal of the month's not going to be a penalty. That's
exactly. Let me ask you. Can I ask you? Do you think the ball went out?
I'll be honest with you. I think it did.
I think it did as well, but I think it was the right decision.
It ridiculously harsh if they ruled out, because the commentator, obviously I can't remember where it was, but the commentator was saying, look, at the end of the day, it's inconclusive. You can barely tell. It's probably going to be. It's not like goal line technology. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, of course, it's in or out, and it, so to speak. Like,
that's the thing. That's the thing with me. I think it did go out, but it was the right decision to allow the goal, because the on-field decision was to play on. The linesman didn't flag. Exactly.
I was thinking about this in cricket with LBW, right? When they have it on the line.
Umpire's call.
Whatever the referees, what the hell am I about? Umpire's decision, they go with that, even if it's that borderline, on the line for LB in particular. They'll be like, okay, they've given it, so we're going to have to do that. So I feel like they need to start incorporating that into football as well, because referees are getting away with murder at the moment. But yeah, for that, if they ruled it out for that, I would have been fuming.
And because how good the goal was as well, it's like...
So listen, Deeks, I do a watch along, right? So obviously I do watch it. My stream's behind in it, so my stream's behind always like 40 seconds or whatever. So I've gone mental, because I love Pogba and everyone's been slagging him. So I've gone mental, and then I look to the chat, and then I've just seen, wait, I think it's disallowed. The chat just gets spammed. disallowed. And I thought, no, I'm just proper. Like, I forgot about the chat. I just went mental for ages. And then looked at the chat and I was like, oh shit, someone's gonna clip this. But luckily they gave up. But listen, just to finish, Nick, obviously I've got at least a couple in the queue. Who's your man of the match and why? Who have you given it to?
I was torn between Bruno and Rashford. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Bruno. Okay. I could easily give it to Rashford. The commentator gave it to Rashford. I think it was Gary Neville on Sky Sports. So he can have that one. My one, I'll give it to Bruno. If it was if Gary Neville gave it to Bruno, I'll give it to Rashford. I think
the only man that match that matters is Neeks. So
and the reason why, obviously, Rashford scored a brilliant chip. Of course, he should have scored before that when he hit the post. When Bruno put him through. But also, what is probably might not be remembered, for that second goal, it was Bruno who chased down Fabianski that forced him to clear it out for a throw-on.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's what we were lacking all first half. There was no energy, there was no pressing, there was no running. And Bruno came on and did that from the 46th minute right to the end. So just for those kind of intangibles that you don't see, and obviously he created still like 8 chances in 45 minutes. For that alone, I'll give it to Bruno. But either one, I don't really mind.
Listen, you can't deny that. Well, listen, make sure you check out Neeks' socials as well. As you can see, Neeks' Sports, he's already told me he's going to do his stream as well. So go and show him love and check out his match reaction. Just to say a massive thank you for being the first guest. I appreciate it, bro.
Thanks for having me on, bro. Guys, hit the like button.
Yes, hit the like button on the channel.
Bless up, man.
Right, okay, so everybody else in the queue, I do apologize if it takes a bit longer. I'm trying to give everyone enough time to have their say. 5 to 10 minutes between that. So I've got a few people in the queue. So I'm going to keep the regulars towards the end. So obviously, Watson, Kojo, you guys just get comfy. I know you can hear me, boys. You man, I can see your beautiful face. You guys get comfy. We're going to get Jerry on next. Obviously, as you know, Jerry was on the other call-in show. If you want to get in the call-in show, all you've got to do to Usmaan Talks United Twitter page there. The link is there. Hit the link. Very straightforward. Come have your say. Anyways, let's get Jerry in. Jerry United, Manchester United winning 3-1. It wasn't pretty. How are you feeling,
bro? I'm just happy you got the 3 points, man. Because that first half was putting man to sleep, man. Like I can't remember the time, but we did have an attempt on goal for so long. I was thinking we ain't even had a shot. The passing was poor, so slow. I was thinking, like, come on, man. And then they go and score from a corner again, just like last week. The zonal defense starting to piss me off now. The near post, and then I don't get it.
I lost my shit on that goal. 3 times we conceded from Martial against PSG.
Oh yeah.
Southampton, literally the week before, exactly the same flick from the near post. This time, if Rice's go in. Obviously, Rice flicked it. It's gone to Suchek. If he scores from that header there, that's 3 in a row we've been beating.
Direct,
It's like, are they going to lane or what?
I don't know. It seems like we were stuck with the zonal thing. So corners, even our corners, every time we get a corner, I think, what did they put on the stat? 1 goal from 54 corners.
Who's actually scored it? It must be Maguire, isn't it?
I can't even remember, to be honest.
Like, I don't remember the last time we've even won the header, let alone scored it. But you know what I mean? Like, no way, like, you used to have to see John Terry and Rio. And
coming up,
They'd win the header like quite frequently, and the keeper will save all, hit the post, or whatever it may be. So we don't even win the header, like literally never. It's jarring, innit? But yeah, what were your thoughts on the game? Obviously, you know, we know the first half were absolutely shambolic.
Yeah. Then half time come. Obviously, I was away. I didn't really catch half time as soon as it kicked off. I see in my group chat that Van der Beek and Cavani's off, and I'm thinking, what's going on there? Like, everyone was so poor to take them 2 off. It was a bit strange.
I heard Cavani's got injured actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's what Neeks has just said coming on.
Okay.
But he said he got a muscle injury.
I see on Twitter everyone's just losing their shit. I'm thinking, all right, cool, he's taking them off, but it's half time. Like, it's 1-0. Let's see at the end of the game if this was the right changes to do. And obviously they were. If Cavani was injured, well, that's bad news. But bringing Bruno and Rashford, I think I put a tweet out before saying those are big problems if they come on, because we saw in the Leipzig game in the Champions League when them 2 came on, the goals right now in this United team, they are go-to guys for goals. Yeah. There's no one else. Obviously Cavani chipping, but they are our go-to guys. And second off, I think we just came to life. Like we've been doing this away away from home. I don't know what it is. We can see it in the
what
is it? I don't understand it. It's crazy. Like, I was never worried. Once it was 1-0 and West Ham were missing all their chances they had in the first half, they should have put the game to bed.
Yeah.
So I thought, they'll come back and bite them in the ass. But second half, Bruno and Rash come on. The game just changes. The intensity increases. Pogba is nice and tidy, keeping the ball.
Yeah.
And his goal, man. What, fam? That like he tried an attempt in the first half just like that, but the shot was tame. And I was quite angry. I was thinking, I know you got capabilities to just bang it. And obviously he did it in the second half.
Hit
it straight at the keeper, yeah. But that goal, man, I couldn't even. When I saw them checking VAR, I said, "Oh
Did you
my
think it was
God."
out? What are your thoughts on that? What do you reckon?
It was out, but if they disallowed the goal for that, I will not watch football again.
Yeah, it would have been.
It would have been a joke, big joke, because that goal. I was happy for him because he needed to score. Like the pressure's been on him for him to score a goal like that and to be taken away would have just killed his confidence. So I'm very happy that he scored. And then Greenwood, I think he was missing in the first. I forgot he was even playing.
For me, it was
so poor, man.
But that touch in the middle though, he was brilliant.
As a striker, that touch and then just lace it, boom.
That touch was dirty.
It was dirty. Now the pass wasn't that good. He made the pass good, and then he's just tucked it away. Rashford, he should have scored one before. I was very, very angry that he didn't score that 1-on-1. I couldn't understand, like, come on, Rash, man. And then the second one, he goes and chips the keeper. Like, what the hell? It's just bad.
It's like you scuffed the first one.
Yeah.
Like Sanchez did. You remember when he did that? Obviously, didn't do the skill.
Oh yeah. West Ham.
Yeah, but he sat him down and his dinked, and I was like, yo, what the hell does that come from? But listen, you mentioned Pogba there. Briefly, what are your thoughts on Paul Pogba at the moment? Do you think he's done enough for you today to showcase? Well, not show. We know how good he is, but do you think he's done enough to keep his place for RB Leipzig game?
No. I knew why he played today because he ain't playing on Tuesday. That when I saw him on the starting line, I was like, it makes sense to put him in now because he ain't playing on Tuesday. I wouldn't personally play him on Tuesday because I think we just need to sit back and just defend, and he's not really defensively aware. But the City game now, he has a shout to play in that game. So
I basically look. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, but I actually gave him a man of the match. And the reason being, like the first half, right, and I said it at half time, Pogba's the only person that's played okay. Everybody else has been absolutely non-existent. And I'm not saying he played well. We just had Nick. He didn't play well, but compared to everybody else, he was the only one that was a bit respectable. Like he kept the ball, he kept it moving. He was trying to do something. Nobody was moving. And in the second half, right after his goal, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. He just controlled the whole tempo of the game alongside Bruno. But that goal is clutch because he doesn't really have a right to score that in the man.
I know, equalized as well. Like brought us back in the game.
Like, he's not confident. Let's be real. He's not like he's like Bruno at the moment, who's flying high in terms of confidence. He's not confident, and just to get that level of finish. Look, at the end of the day, for me personally, that's why I gave him the man of the match. Because of course Rashford and Bruno were the catalyst, but that goal won us the game really. Because then West Ham put shit. Like because they should have been 3-4, 5-0 outside. Yeah. And then that goal made them realize that we're still in the game now, and you could tell. You can even imagine from their fans' perspective when Pogba scores that goal, they're like, "Oh my god!" Like they
were praying for the VAR. They were praying, man.
I think it was out, but it is what it is. But yeah, Jerry, what do you reckon? Man of the match, who would you give it to?
Man of the match. It's quite difficult. I think Bruno. He come in and he looks a bit different to me. You weren't really giving the ball away. I was a bit surprised. He looked relaxed. He looked like he was just coasting. But chances created, but I'm giving it to Rashford, man. I think his urgency and his runs in behind changed the dynamic of the game. So, and he scored as well. So, yeah, I'm giving it to Rashford.
Yeah, say no more. Right, okay, Jerry, thank you for coming on. Make sure you check him out on his Make sure you check him out on his social, which is Jerry. I don't know why I'm so used to putting it. Jerry United. Show him some love on Twitter. He does have a YouTube channel, as you can see, Team Talk. Go and subscribe to him as well, man. Just show love, spread the positivity. Obviously, he's probably going to be regular on the call-ins as well.
Definitely. I'm here, man.
Yeah, listen, I love having you on, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
Cheers,
boys. Thank you. Right, Jerry.
Take care.
Bless, brother. Right, okay. Lads, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep it moving. Obviously, if you're in the queue, as you guys can see, I do apologize. I'm trying to get through as many people as we possibly can. We will get Kojo and Was on next, but first, we are going to get the man, and that is Let's Talk United. Mr. Ollie in. We got 2 Ollie ins here. We got Red Devil Studio ads is in the building as well. So we got a brilliant panel for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned. Obviously, I'm sure most of you are probably watching Leeds beating Chelsea on the side. Obviously, let me know the score prediction. Well, the score in the comments. Anyways, let's get Chris in.
Yes, what's happening, man? You all right? Yeah, man. Really good performance. Look, I'm not Ollie in or out, yeah. I'm just Man United, and it's, remember I said to you the other time, when we chatted, and I said to you that even when we do well, even if we're still a title, I said there'd be some people saying that's in spite of Ollie instead of because of Ollie.
But then you got James Ollie out still. But at least he's got sisters, do you know what I mean? He's not flopping.
Yeah, but today that's exactly what you're getting. That's what you're getting across the socials. Like, yeah, fair enough. First half was atrocious. I agree with you. Pogba was already a good player in the first half. He deserved probably more credit than what he got for his performance in the first half because he was carrying a poor team. But Ollie made the right changes. He made the right decisions. We spoke about his in-game management, and today it was good. Yeah, it started poor, but he made the right changes. It changed the game. We won the game. We're so far, right, sitting 2 points on top of the table, and we are 1 point away from qualifying out of the group of death in the Champions League. And we're talking about, is there an in or out? I mean, I'm not sure how it's a debate.
Look, first and foremost, right, for me personally, I just don't want to be short-termism. Like that is regarding what everyone's saying on Twitter, right? It's pathetic. Like at the end of the day, we won the game. Just be happy. Yes, granted, there were some flaws in performance, but as he said, his in-game management today was good because he made the changes at halftime. Granted, one might have been enforced with the Cavani one. Apparently, he's injured, which is even worse news. But nevertheless, he made the changes. The changes impacted the game. The impact from the players won us the game. So you got to credit that to the manager. We came out differently in the second half, although West Ham was still brilliant in the first 5 to 10 minutes. After that, we controlled the game. Fair play to Ollie. Regarding Ollie, for me, look, the way I see it is I would love it. I would love it if you come onto in a couple of months' time saying, Usmaan, what did I tell you about Ollie? I want you to say that to me. What did I tell you about everyone who's Ollie in? I want you to come on here when we're winning and we're beating Liverpool, wherever it is, after us beating Liverpool, everyone's saying to me, what did I say about Ollie, man? You were wrong. I would love it. I'll flip him hold hands up straight away. I want to be wrong. There's no part of me that wants to be right because I'm Man United fan. I want the
exactly that.
Well. Anyone who does this, we won, or Ollie's going to stay longer. That's that for me, you're not a real fan. And I'm obviously
exactly the same. Exactly the same. If we lose the next 6 games, and we're sitting in 12th place, I'll be the first one to say, it's got to go.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be like team this manager, team that manager. You're meant to be like a Man United fan, first and foremost.
Chris, what are your thoughts on this comment? James is a regular on my watching, and I love him, right?
Sorry, man, we're breaking up a little bit.
He's very negative all the time. But to be fair to him, he's consistent, so I've got to respect it. When our luck runs out, we were crap. So what are your thoughts? Look, let's be real, innit? We got lucky today, innit? I said to Neeks, the first person that called in, against PSG, I think we should have won that game. Should have lost this game quite evidently. It was and we got the result the way around because PSG, we missed the chances, didn't we? Really. In terms of today, right? Is it a case of you get games like that, you ride, that's part of football, or do you put that down to the manager in the manner in which we approach the game come the first half?
So I don't think I caught the whole question. Sorry, when it's breaking up a little bit, but
sorry, man. So just to repeat that, in terms of the performance, do you take into consideration the performance? Or do you just think looks are part of football? It goes both ways. You saw against PSG, the look wasn't on our side. Today, it was on our side. It's part of football. Or do you think there's more to it?
I think there's more to it. I think it was poor. I was really happy to see Pogba. I was hoping that Pogba would play as well as he did. Because I would like to see him be a mainstay in the team. And obviously, he's only going to do that if he performs, and he did. I think it was poor, but I think you got to put perspective on it as well. This is a team that drew away against Spurs, a team that drew in Manchester City, that have already beaten Wolves and Leicester this season, that were 5th in the Premier League at the start of today. This is not Watford. This is a side that I don't think any of the big teams has managed to beat. Only we have. So I think you need to put some credit on that. And when you stop looking at it,
I think Liverpool beat them.
Oh, Liverpool. Okay, that's fine. Liverpool beat them, but like I say, they drew with both Tottenham. They drew both Tottenham and City. You know, they couldn't do what we done today, and they were poor. And you look at Barcelona are losing to some team at the bottom of the Spanish league right now, 1-0. Chelsea are losing 1-0 at home to Leeds. It's sport. It can happen, and them teams might turn it around. And we turned it around. We didn't walk off the pitch and lose the game 1-0. No changes, no change of direction. We done all of the right things, and we won the game. But no, it wasn't down to luck. I mean, West Ham could have been out of sight. Let's be real about it. They counter-attacked really well. But it was that. We need to recognise that as well. What West Ham did well was campaign. I think they only had about 35% of the ball come half-time. So even though they were winning and looked like they should have been 3-0 up, it was camp and counter at home against us. And we were playing poor, and they still resorted to that. So we need to take some credit for that. I think it's because they was afraid of Pogba and his movements and Van der Beek and his movements.
I wouldn't personally take credit for that, because the reason being is you expect that from these teams. You know, that's not really a compliment. Like, okay, fair enough, you can say that, oh, if they didn't fear us, they'd play more expansive. But it's tactical. At the end of the day, if you open up space against a team with better quality, they're gonna hurt you, innit? So
yeah,
they're outsmarted us in the first half. In terms of the manner in which they exploited our weakness, especially in the fullback areas, they saw that Green was not going to track back. Okay, they doubled up on Wan-Bissaka. The amount of times Bowen got in, I was saying it on my watch line, it was similar to Solly March, what with Brighton, obviously on the opposite side this time. It was just relentless. That, you know, a bit more quality. They've scored 4 at halftime. Like,
I mean, we missed a lot of chances as well.
All the time.
Yeah, I'd agree to a degree. I mean, yeah, if we're talking about Man United from 7, 8, 9, years ago, well, no, less than that, 6, 7 years ago, then yeah, definitely every team played that way against us. But you roll back to maybe even last season, and I think West Ham come at Man United and give us a game as if they're on level par of us. And I think people are starting to recognise that that's not the case. And as soon as West Ham conceded a goal, as soon as they had to start playing a match, particularly when there was 2-1 down, they fell to pieces. Rashford hit the post. Greenwood, right at the end, it was a poor shot from him. He usually does a lot better. Yeah, what he did with that. There was a couple of other chances as well. And then you could be talking about a 4, 5, 6-1 even result, a completely different outlook on the game. So, no, all in all, I think we deserved it. And the Manchester derby is the big one come next week. And to me, that will probably make my mind up whether I think that we're in a title challenge or not, depending on how we play in the game. Not necessarily the result, but how we play in that game.
If we beat Man City, you're saying we're in a title challenge?
At this stage, obviously we could drop out of it at some point in the season, but at this stage, I don't think you can look at it any other way.
No, I don't. The only class team in the title challenge, I think that they've got the ability to sustain it. Like, for example, if you're at the top of it, like I remember Chelsea last season were very similar to us in terms of they thought they were in the title challenge because they were above Man City, and obviously we know how that panned out for them. But for me personally, like, look, it's fantastic that we're close to the top, but it's too early to say. I need to see us get a result against RB Leipzig and then get the result against Man City. And if he does that, then fair play to him, because at the end of the day, they're
which is what I just said. If we win the derby, I might start to be convinced. At this stage, I'm not convinced. But if we go and do those 2 games and we're into the knockout round of the Champions League, I've just won a Manchester derby. I'm looking at Liverpool, thinking that they've got injuries, long-term ones that are not going to be a quick fix unless they go buying in January. I'm looking at Manchester City, and even today against Fulham, even though they won 2-0 and they were very comfortable against Fulham, but they still don't look as good as last season or the previous season. I still think they're a little bit off where they were, and Liverpool, they just have to be. They just have to be. The injuries they've got is impossible to sustain, and we saw that last week against Brighton. So if Tottenham are put it this way, if Tottenham are title contenders, then we're title contenders.
I hear your point. I just think they've got probably a bit more quality. But listen, Chris, just to finish off, who's your man of the match?
Rashford.
I know everyone's going to say Rashford. Right, okay, listen, I don't think I need to ask you why. It's quite evident. No, Rashford was absolutely brilliant. Hopefully, he continues that against RB Leipzig, because we're going to need him. Look, as always, Chris, thank you for coming on. Make sure you check out his Twitter handle, Let's Talk United. As always, I will be tagging every single person in the tweet after the show. But yeah, Chris, thank you. As always,
thanks, man.
Cheers. Oh, I'll cut him off. Sorry, Chris, I've cut you off too early, mate. Right, okay, listen. As always, make sure you stay tuned. We're going to get more people on. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I believe Chelsea have just scored keep me up to date with the Chelsea score. Of course, we need them to drop points, but I believe Olivier Giroud has just scored. Anyways, we're going to get in the next guest. Kojo and Was have been waiting very patiently, so we're going to quickly get it in order. So Was, Kojo, obviously Red Devil Studio G, and then Ads to finish. We'll start with you, Was. Let's get you in. Yes, Was. It's been a while. The hoodie's on. Was Manchester United winning 3-1. Mr. Positive, how you feeling?
Yeah, really, really happy, man. What a result. After the first half, like everyone's just said previous, it's like it's such a game of two halves, isn't it? Proper. I can't believe like how we won from the first half, because we were so, everything that you could go wrong, we just went wrong. You know, so slow, sluggish, second to every ball, positioning poor. We couldn't even hold on to the ball. The possession was not there. Pogba looking up, couldn't give it to anyone. No movement, nothing was happening, man. Nothing was happening. And I honestly thought West Ham would just, that was their chance basically to just win the game in the first half. They could have done it. They got 2 or 3 goals. I couldn't see us getting. I don't know where the goal was going to come from, to be honest. I really was really stuck. But then the only thing is the bench was the only shining light, and obviously it proved to be, you know. But we didn't want to use it. I didn't want Ollie to use the bench, you know. I wanted to win without Bruno for a change. But a win's a win, and obviously we're in a good position now, so it's good.
Yeah, no, obviously regarding you know, the bench in particular with Bruno, like, are we too reliant on him? Like, you know, he's come on. I haven't seen the confirmation of the stats, but I'm hearing a lot of people say he created 8 chances within 45 minutes, which is ridiculous. We didn't, as you mentioned there, and I completely agree with you. The first half, we will avoid ideas. We didn't create any chances. Bruno comes on, of course, alongside Rashford, creates 8 chances. Do we rely on him too much, or do you think it's just he's got quality, he's one of our players? It was just a bad day prior to him coming on.
The thing of, we do rely on him too much, because I think he's just that good. He's like one of those kind of players where he's just on another level. Even he has more of an influence than Paul Pogba at the moment. Yeah, Paul Pogba's got the quality, but he's not at that level yet in the team. So Bruno, I was trying to watch carefully why he made the change. I'm on my social. I'm on what impact he actually had. It was actually he kind of goes looking for the ball. He always wants to be involved, regardless. He gets tackled, man marked. You can't man mark that guy. He's everywhere. He's in defense and everywhere. But when he gets the ball, he passes and moves. So he's trying to like shift. He's trying to get the team into like a gear where all is on the front foot kind of thing. And also, if he doesn't have the ball, he's in a pocket, and he occupies this space where very few players of that kind of position do. Like, I think David Silva used to be another one for like Man City. There's those kind of players where they just kind of sit in this place. You look over your shoulder as a defender or midfielder, defensive midfielder. You look around and think, all right, he's there. He's not doing the thing. Yeah. And then the defenders, say, looking in front and they're watching him. They're like, they're not going to step out to him, are they? Because obviously then you got someone like Rashford with the pace running in behind. So it creates so much problems for the central defensive midfielder and obviously the centre backs as well. So he's just a mischievous kind of player, but he's really clever because his give and go, like he's got this kind of trickery about him, and he's got the skill to match it as well, and the vision. So not many players have got that. I'm talking about in the Premier League as well. I don't see that kind of quality apart from like players like De Bruyne, and
as it stands, he's got to be the best midfielder in the league as it stands.
I'm not just saying that because he's my fan.
Yeah, no, the only other person is De Bruyne, really. There's nobody else that you can even put.
Yeah, but he's outperforming De Bruyne at the moment.
Yeah,
he's definitely doing, because he's getting goals and assists on a regular. His stats are like, even when he's having the worst game, when they go, Bruno's misplaced this much passes, and they pull all these fleeting stats out, the guy still got a goal and assist. He's probably dinked over a penalty. I don't know what. You just can't have a. He's involved, and I like that. That's what you want from a top player. He's my captain, like I was saying. He's my captain. So yeah.
Absolutely. But listen, let's talk about Ollie briefly. You mentioned the first half, our Pogba. Does Ollie deserve a lot of credit in the manner in which he changed in the second half? You know, you saw against PSG, we came out brilliantly in the second half. You saw against Southampton. In the second half, we were fantastic, complete polar opposite. The first half, I don't know what he's saying in the dressing room, but whatever he's saying at the moment, it's definitely working. Would you say you give him a lot of credit for that, or does it, on the flip side, does it just frustrate the shit out of you because you're like, why can't we just start like this?
It does frustrate me because, I mean, sometimes the lineup isn't as maybe I'd want it, but then obviously he knows his players more than I do, innit? And obviously the fact that the fixtures are coming thick and fast, you have to rest players. There's no way about that. So we're not going to get, every one of us is not going to be happy in it with this lineup. For me, I think he made a mistake with McTominay. I know he has to play McTominay, but McTominay looks so poor. He just can't. He looks lost. Like he doesn't know where to be. And you know, like he niggles and he gives fouls away, unnecessary fouls. You know, like if it was like say Ward-Prowse last week, you know, like that someone of that quality in West Ham, you know, they would have scored a couple of goals from free kicks because he just gives unnecessary fouls. And you know what? He thinks he's got a really good pass on him. Bloody, he has not got a good pass on him. He tries to flip him over the top. You've been watching Pogba too much, and he cannot do it. And when he gets the ball, I always think, and he looks up and he thinks he's like David Beckham or something. You're not, mate. Just stick to a simple pass. Give it to Bruno Pogba and leave it. Because when he does that, him and Fred, they both do it. They shit at it. And today, I think McTominay, I mean, I don't want to slate him too much, but I am gonna, because he was just looked lost, man. He was like not almost playing with 10 men, but in a way, because back to the question you said about Ollie, and does he deserve any credit? Not really. Like a lot of people said that Bruno Rashford is the obvious choice to bring them on. So, but I think we're getting a lot of injuries.
Early, does he? Does he need to only one?
No, it's good that he's doing that. Yeah, it's good that he's doing that because my early criticism was he leaves it too late. So at least is, you know, kind of he reacts with the situation rather than flipping waits to the 60th minute, 65th minute. Game's done, innit? You're not going to get 3 goals back then, are you? You know, it's not going to be one of those. We're not good enough to do that. So,
No, I completely agree. I do hear that point. I think for me personally, it does deserve credit because he brought him on off at half time. At the end of the day, you know, he brought the subs on early. Yes, there are obvious changes, but look, at the end of the day, they made the difference.
I think his hand was forced. Like you said, Cavani's got injured.
I think that one was forced.
I don't understand the Van de Beek one, though. I don't understand Van de Beek one, though.
Van de Beek was woeful for me. I completely agree with this. I was asking for Van de Beek to come off as well. But listen, was he playing it? Just finish off with your mind, because obviously we've got quite a few left. But just finish up very much off, and we get some of the comments.
It's going to be Pogba. Pogba, that goal was a frigging banger. And when he hit it, I was looking at VAR thinking, don't disallow that because he deserves it. Celebration and all. And the fact is, even there was nothing happening the first half, but he was involved. He was there. He wasn't flipping shy and hiding away like behind something. He was actually involved. So, and he kept on going. I love the way he played. I'm so happy for him. So there you go, mate.
I completely agree, Was. Love to see it, right? Was, as always.
Subscribe, guys. We're almost at 900. Subscribe. Show your support.
Make sure you show love to Was because he's the person behind all the thumbnails and all the other sort of bits and bobs behind the scenes. And I know you guys love the thumbnails because I absolutely love them. Listen, Was, as always, a pleasure. Let's get our next guest on. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're very close to 900. I believe we need 12 subscribers. Drop a like on the video as well. We appreciate this. Basically, it's a pilot. The only way I'm going to continue doing this, if I know you guys enjoy it, this is all about you guys coming and having your say. As I said, we've got 3 more guests. We have got Kojo, Red Devil Studio, AKG, and Ads to finish off the show. Let's get the man, the myth from 3 in midfield, Kojo!
Yo.
Thank you for patiently waiting. As always, the homie, you know, you guys know Kojo. You know Kojo's been about. Listen, Manchester United 3, West Ham 1. Talk to me, brother.
That was my first prediction before I went up and went down. So I'm happy that was my original prediction. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Dan, you know what I'm saying?
Lawless, what you say?
Yes. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. First half was scary to watch again. Pogba tried his best to make things happen.
But we just, other than that, we were poor bringing the ball up from the back. We deserve to go behind. Again, this near post cross from corners. I
Oh
don't know
my
why we
dear
can't
God.
deal with them. Like, it's actually starting to just jar me. It keeps happening over and over. But second half, obviously, much more improved. We
He's
got
back in the
better.
comments.
Jeez, straight away. I like that's how you do things right here.
That's
I'm
an
saying.
OG, man. I love that. What a legend.
Yeah. But no, second half we improved. Subs needed to happen. I thought Martial needed to come off before Cavani, but knowing that Cavani was injured, that makes
Yeah, but
sense.
the both got injured, didn't they? So,
Yeah, exactly. Eventually. But I went him off first because I thought we needed more bodies. Donny van de Beek coming off. I understood, but also did annoy me because I was also quite annoyed with Scott McTominay as well because he was equally as bad.
yeah.
But regardless, we got back into the game. We got the 3 points. Pogba scored an absolute beauty. Absolute beauty. And
Do you
then
think he was out, by the way, Coach? Do you think he's out? Have you seen the replay or?
I don't care.
I don't care. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care, bruv. It could have gone and hit David Moyes and come back in. It's still a goal, bruv. I don't care. Beautiful strike. Goals like that, you don't choke off. That was a stunner. That was an absolute stunner.
Beautiful.
And the second goal, Greenwood. That touch, yeah,
Bergkamp-esque.
bruv. That touch kind of rattled me. I saw it, I was like, wait, hold on, what? And the way he took shots early, that's what I like from my strikers. Rattle the goalkeeper, don't let him settle.
Yeah,
Bang it across him.
right.
Goal. And then Mata, my boy, the guy will always defend. I'll always defend him until he leaves.
What a pass!
That pass. Oh, bro, that pass.
Pass.
And Rashford, again, that's what I asked for. My guys just running behind, was making the runs time and time again, got his goal. 3-1, game, set, match.
Yeah, but listen, first and foremost, I know you love Mata, but let's talk Marcus Rashford. We've been both very critical of him. I know you literally got the day, it might have been a day ago, saying that you think Rashford got more, he's more, what was the word that you used? He's more impactful. I don't know, that wasn't the word you used, but he has more of an impact on the game than Martial does. Rashford showed the game, coming on at half time. I thought, to be fair to Martial, I know before he got injured, he was poor in the first half. Don't get me wrong, he was very poor.
Yeah.
But before he got injured, I thought he looked way better in the middle. It just seemed that there was more fluidity in the front line all of a sudden for whatever reason. But listen, let's talk Rashford. He changed the game not only by what he was doing on the ball, but he was stretching the play. Those runs in behind, man. How important was his little, second half coming? I know Bruno's going to get a lot of the plaudits, but in terms of what Rashford's done there, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, defenders' days are made easy if you go like kind of sort of like back to goal with them a lot of the time. Unless you're like a Drogba who has that kind of presence to unsettle defenders. Because Drogba could take the ball and then beat you on the turn. Someone like also like Lukaku at Everton, that's what he used to do as well. But I don't feel like Martial does that. So I needed him to get in behind. You've got the speed, you've got the ability to do so. Rashford came in and was doing just that, unsettling them from the jump, running in behind so many times. West Ham were pressing forward because they wanted that second goal. They wanted to try and get more control over the game. So I just wanted someone to just run in behind constantly and make them sweat, and he was the guy to do so. So yeah, I was so happy that I was hoping that he would be rested because we know his shoulder's injured, but he came on, he looked fresh, he looks brand new. I bet he smelled great. When you buy a console game and you open the case and the stuff from the CD just slaps your face, you're like, yeah, he smelled it. It was excellent. It was beautiful. So more of that to come, hopefully. And he's definitely going to play, I think, on Tuesday now, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but he's going to have to. Cavani's injured. Martial, I'm assuming they've both got muscle injuries. So, it's a shame with Cavani because, we was worried about, can he play 2 games in a week? Well, we've got an answer. He can't. It's a bit too much for him in terms of fatigue. But potentially, we don't know if that was the reason. But in terms of, the overall performance, look, for me personally, I've got to be honest, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that mattered was the result, no pun intended, of course. But the only thing that mattered was the result in the end of the day. I know Lawless is going to say that they should have won the game. They definitely should have won the game. No one's denying that. But in terms of the positives, I want it to be a positive show. We got the 3 points. Let's not be too negative. In terms of the positives, what do you take away from this game?
The timing of the subs were better. I would say that. I think they were better. Even though they were forced, regardless, at the end of the day, they worked. We were a lot more fluid in the second half. That's a big positive as well. Yeah. Defensively, actually, in general, no, I was about to say in general, because defensively in the first half, it was scary.
What about your boy Maguire, though? Let's just as you mentioned, what were your thoughts on him? Because a lot of people are praising him, actually.
He was all right. He was all right. He wasn't like he dealt with everything that came his way. Essentially, like most of the things wasn't him. Even Lindelof looked okay as well. The thing with Lindelof, what made me laugh was after we conceded the first goal, when they got then another corner, he was screaming at Wan-Bissaka because Wan-Bissaka looked lost. He's like he didn't know where to go. He was just getting mad, and I like that. I want my centre backs to command the box. I want them to say,
100%.
"Look, I need you here. I need you here." And shout out a little bit to also Dean Henderson because he was also not afraid to claim things, even if he wasn't going to get there. He was the intent to at least command this area as well was there. So no, I can't knock them to today, and I can't knock Maguire at all. He was good today, so he did his thing.
Bro, man can't knock Maguire. You haven't said that after. But then, Cody, to finish, who's your man of the match, bro? Who are you going for?
Oh shit, I ain't thought about that. Damn. You know what? I'll give it to Pogba.
Okay.
Because I feel like this is more like a bounce back performance that he needed.
Yeah.
He needed. The first half, I was like I said, I don't think anyone was really good, but he was trying to make stuff happen, trying to drive us forward, trying to force something to happen. Second half, he elevated his game, a lot more composure, a lot more shoulder on the ball, lovely goal, and after that, he took the reins and him and Bruno in midfield just ran the show. So he needed this performance. It's a good performance, and hopefully we can get more out of him. So yeah, I'll give it to Pogba today.
Does it start for you on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Pogba spot is waiting to team according to Kojo. Let us know what you guys think about that. Laura's just turned up saying, "What's up, G?" Yes.
Yo.
Listen, we're buzzing because we won. The performance wasn't there, but listen, go show love. I keep pointing the wrong direction. I'm pointing the wrong direction again.
It's hard, isn't it? It's almost like, hey.
I know it's so tricky. Go show love to Kojo. 3 in midfield. Listen, they upload content twice a week. Tuesday and Thursdays, all right. Is it Tuesday, Thursday?
Yeah. Well, yeah. To be honest, whenever we want to.
Listen, whenever the fans need it,
whenever we want it. Exactly.
Sure
And also, like and subscribe here. Yes. And Lauren in the comments, I have not forgotten you are a Ruud van Nistelrooy hater. Me, you have to have a conversation and I have to change that. But yes.
Ruud van Nistelrooy hater.
He hates on Ruud, man.
Oh, that's a madness. But Kojo, God bless. Thank you very much for coming on, as always. Right, okay, we're going to get our last 2 people on. Before we get them on, like the comments, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and get your comments. And that's what I was about to say. I don't know how I got that mixed up. We're going to get the man that's Ollie in. He loves it. He's already on mute. Yeah, he's ready. It's Red Devil Studios' very own G.
Yo. Yo.
I appreciate it, my brother. Listen, Manchester United win 3-1. And that's all that matters. G, talk to me. How you feeling, bro?
I mean, it was a game of 2 halves. And I mean, you know what? I'm going to focus on the positives because there's a lot of people come out of this game being like, oh, we're telling folks, like, that's fair enough. But we only won the game because Oli made subs. Let's be real here. A couple of days ago, people like, we lost the game because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made subs. It's his fault, it's his fault. Yeah. And then when he then makes subs and wins the game, it's like, oh, we only won the game when we made subs. So, I don't think you can have it either way. So I'm going to come from the view of like actually focusing on the positives that we can take from that game so that we can then go forward. So I think first positive, that was just Dean Henderson. I don't think people even realized that De Gea wasn't there, So Dean Henderson hasn't played a lot of games, comes into the squad. I don't think he could have done anything for the first goal, command this box, and that arguably assists to Pogba in terms of the ball. Because one of the things that I've said out of criticism of De Gea is that I don't think his distribution is that good. Yes, he's a good shot stopper, his distribution, but that's what I want to. A lot of the modern good goalkeepers, your Alissons and stuff like that, they also add good distribution to their game. And so if Dean Henderson can show that type of distribution from the box, to leave the pressure off the defenders in midfield and find good positions, then De Gea's spot might be under threat. You don't know if he shows.
That's what we want, though. We want that competition at the end of the day, innit?
Exactly. It's no explanation that like in the first half was awful. The previous people talking about that. I completely agree with that. But obviously in the second half, and football is a game of 2 halves, which is why I try not to react until the 90 minutes because, at the end of the day, like. No West Ham fans going to be like, we won the game in the first half. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 90-minute game. So it's clear that the likes of Rashford and Bruno Fernandes are quite are quite significant to this team. Pogba's goal was absolutely fantastic, and I think that's going to do a hell of a lot for his confidence because he's been quite. He said he's been a bit not feeling great. You know, his career's not stalling. That goal, and you could see the celebration on him, like silencing the fans who were like giving him abuse from the stadium. And then obviously Bruno, the Rashford impact, Greenwood again. I guess to summarize before we can speak, and for me, I thought this was a good confidence booster for some of the players that needed it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Pogba, Greenwood, and even Dean Henderson, players that were on the peripheral, players that I don't think were getting the respect they deserve. They had really good performances, and I think that will benefit Manchester United going forward because they can clearly do it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think in terms of Dean Henderson, we got a comment here from Brendan as well, Chappell saying, while De Gea is a better keeper, Henderson seems to have more of an impact. I think for me personally, right, the Pogba situation, you know, it's a lot of negative press. You know, I know you're a very positive guy. In general, I try to keep positive as much as I possibly can. And I couldn't have been happier for Pogba. I gave him my man of the match. I don't know what other people have said on socials, but like, I just thought he kept the ball ticking. He kept it simple. And my sort of frustration with Pogba is that he just doesn't stay consistent. He overcomplicates a lot of things. You know, today you saw when him and Bruno, after Pogba's goal, him and Bruno just controlled the game. The tempo of the game was all them two. Nobody else had a say in the tempo of the game. Everyone was basically puppets and they were the conductors. And like, did they show today that they could play together? Sorry.
Well, there is an argument because people forget that we got into top four because of a midfield of Matic, Pogba, and Bruno. That's what got us top. When we were 12th, I don't know, 9th or 10th, and 12th.
Yeah, post lockdown, that was the midfield. Yeah,
that was the midfield. That was the midfield, and we haven't, aside from maybe one game season, we haven't really played that midfield. Obviously, Van der Beek's there. Fred is obviously doing well. So, actually, good question. What actually happened to Fred? Where is Fred?
I think he just got taken out of the squad because obviously he got a red card. He had, realistically speaking, he can't play RB Leipzig. I think, to be fair, if he's going to bring him back from Man City, he's done the right thing. Because he needed time out, didn't he, really? I didn't put Fred in my team either, actually. I had Matic over McTominay, but obviously, I'm sure you probably got a comment on McTominay. But like, he was woeful for me. But yeah, Fred needed time out, man. He was reckless the other day. I don't know what happened to him. But, you know, what are your thoughts on, I've mentioned anyways, McTominay, like, you know, Fred can't play on Tuesday for obvious reasons because of the red card. Does Matic play for United? Is it a no-brainer that Matic plays, or has McTominay done enough to stay clear?
I mean, why don't we go again? Go over the squad. That I mean, I think so. Cavani and Martial are injured. We don't know about Cavani yet, but Martial looks like he's probably going to be out of his hamstring.
I'm assuming they're both out. Yeah, I'm guessing they're both.
If they are both out, I still think you should play the 4-3-3. But then you put, I think actually Greenwood should go through the middle, and then play.
Yeah,
he was that touch. And he looked a lot more comfortable going in through the middle as opposed to from the wing. So I put Rashford on the left. Sorry, Rashford on the right, and then Van der Beek on the left. Because that's really the only... I mean, maybe Lingard come in, I don't know. Possibly Mata. But that's what I would go with. And the midfield would be Matic, Pogba, and Bruno. Because the Leipzig defense... I agree. I was just going to say the Leipzig defense is great.
Yeah, I agree with that team. But just to come back to this game.
Briefly, of course. Yeah.
You know, look, I know you want to think of the positives in terms of what you can take away from this performance. You know, I don't think there's any United fan that's going to deny that first half performance was nowhere near acceptable. In terms of the second half, this is the third second half that we've had that we've been brilliant in a row. You know, PSG, I thought we should have been outside in the second half. I know we lost the game, but, you know, that's football, so to speak. Today, again, they had a very good spell first, maybe 5-10 minutes. And then we were brilliant at Southampton. Brilliant second half. Whatever Ollie's saying in the dressing room is having some form of impact on the players. You know my stance on it. I don't need to go into it. I know your stance on it. But what I will say is he getting enough credit? Because, look, I know a lot, like you said, right, your first comment was basically, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. So, is he getting enough credit? Yes, the substitutions were obvious, but the team talk is definitely working because we're seeing two different teams in both halves.
I think we need to, I think everyone has their different opinions. Nice, I'm only indifferent, but you got to just look at, you got to also look at the results. The table doesn't lie. That's why I always say, like, whatever happens at the end of the season, the table doesn't lie. So no one can say that when they're 9th place, I deserve to be 5th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We had a difficult start to the season with the same number of points. Oh, Leeds are ahead of Chelsea. Bamford has scored 2-1. I think was it halftime. Anyway, sorry. But the point I'm trying to make is that the table doesn't lie. So we can't say that he's awful, he's terrible, he's a manager if from 10 games he's fourth.
Yeah.
And if he goes away and beats Leipzig and then we're through to the round of 16, how can you say that's terrible? You know what I mean? You could have
that haven't scored. I think it's 1-1 halftime.
Oh, so yeah, so it's good. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. It's not so much like we can disagree on the play style, etc. So that's fine, but you just have. But the facts are the facts. The facts are we're fourth. The facts are if we win against Leipzig, we're through to round of 16.
So basically what you're saying is you don't know what the fuss is about Oli, because we're doing okay at the moment. Because in terms of the table, as you mentioned, it doesn't lie. What I will say to that is it's very early in the season. Hypothetically speaking, where Aston Villa, they're like what, sixth? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just guessing the sixth. They're the top down in it. So I think it's too early to say. For me personally, if we're here in March and we're in a similar situation with the disposed Liverpool. And I said this to Chris, I'm sure there's a lot of other United fans will agree with this comment, I want to be wrong about Oli. I want to sit here and say, I was wrong, you was right, everybody else was Oli and right. The thing is, it's about consistency. Today, for me personally, we got away with murder. We could have lost this game. It's football's fine margin at the end of the day. We could have lost this game. We could be sat here saying we're 15. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then I always say the alternatives, we could have won the PSG game if we took our chances.
No, you're right. It is the opposite way around, and we should have won that and lost this one. Yeah.
The only thing I would say is that and obviously my expectations coming into this season when we weren't backed by the Glazers, etc., was the consistency. We're always talking about consistency. So I do think there's a big difference if we're now saying that we're still fourth. And we're progressing. Let's say we're progressing Champions League or all the rest of it. We're building, but let's say we don't have a trophy. That is still by definition consistent. So why I think would be unfair to Oli is if people say, well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be competing for a title 2 seasons in or first or second, which is already much better than it was last season, with actually not that good of a backing really, because we know what we need. We need a centre back. We know we need a right winger. So that's why I feel like when we're talking about consistency, it has to be based on, fourth, further in competitions, not etc., as opposed to what I mean by consistency is we need to be challenging for a title, because we didn't Mourinho or Van Gaal, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I hear what you're saying. Regarding Ali, for me personally, the way I see it is I'm thinking long term, and in the moment, granted, he's doing okay. He's doing his job. Okay, fair enough. We've got comment here actually, which is a very valid point from Hennes. Keep seeing consistently poor first halves. Wait till we play Liverpool, Spurs again, and have half like that we're 4-0 down. The win mask a shot. It's a good point that the win does mask a shoddy performance. Yeah, granted against PSG, we should have won the game, but you could argue in the first half we were poor against PSG. Southampton, we were only 2-0 down. We could have been.
The only thing I would say to that comment is that that's also saying that those teams are also consistent. Liverpool dropped points to Brighton last week, and actually, to be honest, Brighton were unlucky not to win that game.
Yeah,
Spurs got bantered by West Ham in their home stadium.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, but you're entitled to an anomaly in terms of you're entitled to a bad day of office. At the moment, we're having too many bad days of office, and we are kind of getting away with.
What I'm saying is, if you look at there's a reason why we're 2 points behind those teams. Those teams have also shown a couple of games that they have also been inconsistent. Is the point we make? It's not like if you're talking consistent, they're you say the Brighton, they lost to I think Villa as well, and I think there was another result. And the same thing with Spurs when they barely scored against West Brom. So I'm not trying to put a head out of Oli, but what I am trying to say is that this season as a whole is a very, very weird season. And from what I can see from this title, I can't see a team right now that I can say, right, this is the team that's dominating. This is the team that's going to win the title. There's just a lot of inconsistent teams, and we just have to see what happens come March, as you rightly said.
No, come May really, but it's a weird season. It's a weird season, mate. I don't think anyone's denying that. But just to finish off, G, who's the match for today's win? Who are you going for, mate?
It's going to be Bruno Fernandes, man. It's going to be Bruno. So a shout out to Paul Pogba, obviously, for the G. But Bruno Fernandes should be captain for Manchester United. It's a simple.
I don't think anyone's going to deny that. I completely agree with you, bro. Listen, I, as always, just want to say first and foremost, thank you very much for your patience.
Like the vid, guys.
Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, but also show love to G on Red Devil Studio. He's the homie. We've got a few of your fans in here as well. Premier League today. Oh, in fact, that's the wrong comment, but he was showing you love when you came in. Obviously, I know you've asked a couple of questions, boys, but don't worry, we'll do a podcast with G and all the rest of the lads very shortly, so get a chance to talk to him in more detail. But anyways, as always, G, pleasure. Hopefully, Lee's doing the job, and we can celebrate that in a second, but we'll see in it. Well, go on in it.
Take you, buddy. Take care.
Oh, I keep cutting people off. I'm sorry, G. That's the second person I've cut off too early. Right, okay, last but not least, thank you very much for waiting. It's TNA's very own Ads in the building. If he's still here, hopefully he's still here. He's probably disappeared. It has been a while. Listen, before he does come back, I'm going to take him up. In fact, no, I'll leave him there. Right. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We're very close to 900 subscribers. As
you hear me, yeah?
Has said, let's get Usmaan to 900 subscribers today. As always, this video is for you, the fans, to have your say, as everyone has. Ads is here. He's in the building. Hopefully, he can hear me. Ads, how you feeling, brother?
Bro, very, very, very good points. Very good points today. I was very negative in the first half. Very, very negative. I was doing a watch along, right? I was with Matt, Chris, and Jerry, right, and Rowan. I was pissed. I was vexed. I was like, shit. You know, they're gonna score, and I was kind of like, realistically, we should be 3-0 down. We should be 3-0 down. This was all rounded up. 2 shots in the obviously the first goal went in the first half, and then obviously they missed that second one for Haller. And then obviously half time.
Oh my god!
The fifth. If that was Martial, you not understand the copious amount of hate he would get after the game. You know what I'm trying to say? So realistically, no one can be branding him as a flop at United, man. No way. I'll say this now though: we should have been 3-0 down by the 50th minute in the second half, because they had that one shot where the guy was literally.
Well,
a fraction off scoring.
Close, didn't he? Like literally, 4 yards out when he slid, and he put it wide. I don't know how. Like, I'm absolutely baffled. But look, regarding we should have been down 3-0. Completely agree. I don't think anyone would deny that. Were you impressed in the manner in which we, got back into the game? Yes, slightly fortunate. It does seem like the ball probably did go out of play. However, that's football, is what it is. Were you impressed in the manner in which we sort of bounced back and got the W again from a losing position?
Well, I'll say this right now. I'm glad we got the win, but in the manner and how it was done, why the fuck are we 1-0 down in the first half anyway? To West Ham of all teams. Yeah. And I said this to the lads. I said, yo, man, listen, you need to understand that with Manchester United, and this has been happening for the past 3 seasons. Past 3 seasons, we've been going down to these dead teams in the first half, and then we come out like we're back to our prime. Like, it's just stupid. Why can't we score 3 goals in the first half and just end the game? Like, it's as if it's like fucking FIFA or something. Like, you have a shit team, and then you understand that tactics actually work in the game, and then in the second half you hit back. Like, it's stupid, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the manner in how our transfers are done are poor, in the manner in how we come back in games are poor, in the manner in how we win games are poor. How he came back it was impressive, but we shouldn't be in that position anyway. And I think some of our fans are too over positive and need to understand that today is not 100% positive. There's many negatives that can be brought to the table.
What are some of the negatives that you want to bring to the table? Because I do agree with you. I don't think many fans will disagree with you, but you've hit the nail on the head. We shouldn't be in that position in the first place. We're seeing ourselves in that position too much. Too many times, and against better teams, we will get punished. We're not going to get away with it. Like PSG obviously punished us, didn't they? Really?
Well, yeah, negatives. I think Van der Beek was poor today. I'll be honest with you. I love him, but he was awful today. Cavani, he wasn't the best either. He was good for the first 15 minutes. He was our top influencer in the first 15 minutes. Him and Tellez, their link up was brilliant, but after that, it was just dead. He just deaded out. I don't know why we were conceding all these fucking chances and letting them really push forward towards us, as they were really the most threatening team in the league. Because at times I was looking at Lindelof. He was so angry at everyone around him because no one was giving him the shade or the time and space to actually do anything. Like, no, they were just giving all the opposition the time to build up play and
Yeah.
take a shot on. It's just like when the shot hit the bar, right, and then Henderson saved it because it bounced right back to him. I was like, wait for someone to end up on the wait for someone to foot to end up at the end of that. You know what I'm trying to say? Watch the rebound happen, and it nearly did. But Henderson was quick. I think if that was De Gea, probably would have slipped out of his hands. Probably would have got a goal in. But I love De Gea, man, and I don't know why people didn't notice that he wasn't going to be there, because it's sad. Like, he's one of our key players and always has been for many seasons. And
Yeah, absolutely.
when he leaves, people actually understand that we actually had one of the best goalkeepers in the world. They'll actually understand that, and they should understand it now.
Yeah, no, I think regarding De Gea and Henderson thing, like, first and foremost, like, for me personally, anyone who's a genuine fan will appreciate De Gea, because that guy, he
Yeah.
saved us from pure humiliation in those years, man. Like, you're not even talking about, like, in big moments, like, he saved us from being fifth. Like, compared to, like, we finished like fifth in those seasons. Without him, we're looking 12, 13, 14, like, back-to-back seasons. Like, fair play to De Gea. At the moment, regarding Henderson and De Gea, where do you stand on that? There's some people saying Henderson should start. Some people say De Gea. Where do you stand on that?
There's no way Henderson should be getting ahead of De Gea in anyone's mind. I don't know how that's possible. I think, right. Listen, obviously, I'm not. I'm someone who understands other people's points, even when I disagree. I can understand why people would say that, but it's wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong, because there's no way you're going to put someone who's done so much for us and still can do so much for us at his age as well. He could be out in a few seasons as well, and we won't have him anymore. It's time to make him be and presented as the keeper that he actually is, and that's David De Gea for Manchester United, not some guy that just leaves because he wasn't getting the game time. We want him to leave with the game time that he's had, literally off the bat, and he's leaving with a happy face, a smile on his face when he leaves our club. And I don't think people should be saying that Henderson should be playing over him, because Henderson, in my opinion, he's just a kid, man. He's just a kid, and I know he's great. He's great. He's a great goalkeeper. He's one of the top five influencers in this game today, I think, because that assist was beautiful. And I don't think that should go unmissed. But David De Gea is always going to take the #1 spot for me, man. I never in any way would I ever change that. No way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, actually. I agree with you fully. I think Henderson's not done enough for me at the moment, because he's not had much opportunities, but he's not done enough to. I don't think De Gea's done anything wrong, really. Okay, you could say he made a mistake from not the Ward Prowse free kick, but the Istanbul one. But bar that, De Gea's been good this season so far. He's barely put a foot wrong, so I don't see why he would get dropped. I think he was injured, but might be getting rested because he had a bit of a knock. When he went against Ward Prowse, when he went into the post. So look, people don't need to read into it too much.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the midfield. Bruno came on, Rashford came on, but I want to ask you your thoughts on McTominay and Pogba. Like, what were your thoughts on their performances? Do you think any of them, or either of them, should I say, have stated a claim for a start on Tuesday?
Right, I'm gonna tell you this now. Yeah, like I said, when we lost 3-1 against PSG, the reason why Fred was making all those hash challenges is because McTominay didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He just sat back and watched his partner do every single thing that he should be doing as a partnership, doing two-man jobs all the time. Same thing happened today. Donny van de Beek was poor for that reason exactly. I was watching the game, and I told you it would happen if you pair Van de Beek or any midfielder next to McTominay. They'll be doing a two-man job. And what happened today? Van de Beek was one of our worst players, and that's facts. Pogba deserves praise. I loved his celebration. I think that's definitely going to trigger many people, but I feel like he deserves to, because they deserve it, man. Like, why hate on such a talented player? Like, look at his age as well, man. He has so many more years left in him. I think he's going to be one of those players that hit over the age of 30 and still play at like proper hard levels as well.
Yeah.
And we have him, not Juventus, not PSG. We have him, no one else, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna try our hardest to keep him into our team, keep him at our club as well, because he deserves to play. Like Kojo said, he does deserve to play now because I think it's been too long. I think he's just, it's like the naughty step in it. When you've done like after hours, bro. Like after minutes, bro. Like
Yeah.
I think he's off the step now, man. He deserves to play, and I feel like him playing today was perfect because obviously. I know I say this a lot, but I feel like Fred shouldn't have played today, and I'll tell you why. Because if we lost, then that would back my point that we need Bruno in there as well. And if we won, it proves that Pogba really did want to play today, and he deserved to play today because the spots opened up now that Fred's had caution. He needs to rest because all those rash challenges are coming from pure determination and
He's
pure
fatigued
anger
as
as
well, though.
well.
He's played every game, man. Do you know what I mean? And he covers a lot of ground every game as well. He puts in a shift every game. You know what I mean? Like every game, he's putting in a shift. He's played every single minute, and I think Ollie did the right thing resting him. Of course, he's not going to be able to play against RB Leipzig, so he'll be fresh back for Man City, and then hopefully we get the best Fred that we both what he's capable of. But just to finish off before I ask you for man of the match,
Yep.
Regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what are your thoughts on him in this game? First half it was evident we got it wrong. Second half he makes the subs, they come on, they make the difference. Do you think he deserves a lot of praise for that? And what's your opinion on that?
Of course we can be positive. Of course we can be positive. He deserves all the praise. And I think people like who the fuck are you gonna give the praise to? Michael Carrick, who's just sitting there on the bench, bro. You're
Oh
not
my
gonna give him the
God,
praise.
does he even do anything? Honestly, like, do you know what I mean?
No, I was gonna say no. I will give Carrick praise for bettering Fred and Bruno because it's not rumored anymore. It's confirmed he did give them extra training lessons to better their game. And I said that I posted it up on Twitter, and I should actually send it to you. I'll send it to you after this stream.
Yeah.
But no, Ollie deserves all of the praise, and that's why we have to be positive because when praise is key, praise is key in these situations because he did that. He made the substitutions. He knew which names to take off and which names to put on, and basically it didn't paper over any cracks today. The cracks were already filled because he knew what he was going to do. He had a game plan. West Ham, they kind of flunked theirs after the 45 minutes. So yeah, Ollie deserves the praise today, man, 100%.
All right, fair enough. Look, I'll leave you guys to decide what your thoughts on that comment is. I was about to call you G and A. Then ads just to finish off, and you've seen it with the rest of the guys. Last question of the stream: who is your man of the match and why?
I'm gonna say Aaron. I'm gonna say Wan-Bissaka today, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll say why because in the first half, I know he wasn't involved as much as the others were because I know it was always getting pressed on the left side where, like I said, Tellez and Cavani were linking up a lot. But whenever Aaron Wan-Bissaka received the ball, he was always trying to move it forward. I know he's not the best for moving forward, but I saw progress today. I saw progress, and he wanted to move forward. It's not like he was forced to move forward. He wanted to move forward, and they couldn't get past him. They got past
That
Tellez, but whenever
recovery challenge you made as well, by the way, and when it was 1-0,
yeah,
I can't remember who was through on goal, where he got back and he covered the ground rapidly and he got back, made that slide tackle.
that's the thing. Like he got obviously they got past Tellez. They got past Tellez. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I don't think any defender who plays in the spot of Wan-Bissaka is on the same level as him defensively. Like the guy's different.
Yeah.
He's different, and he proved that today. In the first half, obviously, there wasn't his best game. I just expect him to do that regularly. But in the second half, like, how many tackles did he make? Like it was massive, bruv. Like he was jumping in front of the ball just to save the other players' skins. And I know Lindelof was complaining at him, but that's leadership, man. I like the thing is, I'll say this now. I'm not a big fan of Lindelof as a player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the greatest, but as a person, I like him because he has ambition and he has hunger to win games.
Yeah.
He has been playing well recently, and obviously, when you have Wan-Bissaka next to you, then you're gonna have the coverage, you have the baggage, and it's good to see them two come together. Obviously, they are arguing on the field sometimes, but
You
it's
want to
good
see
for them.
that, man. Like you said, look, end of the day, it's good from Lindelof. I want to see Lindelof shouting at people. If they're making a mistake, you need to let them know because, they need to switch on. But look, regarding Wan-Bissaka, I completely agree in terms of he's the best defensive right back in the league. I don't think many people will deny that. And I thought, that's a different shot. It's a bit left field. But now that you mention it, he's had a good game. At the end of the day, he's had a good game. He's done his job. For me personally, it was Pogba, but obviously we'll leave that for the podcast. Listen, ads. Just want to say a massive thank you first and foremost for being patient and waiting. Of course, it's been a long wait for yourself. The last person on, I'm going to give you the honors. Listen, shout out your socials. I know you're on your YouTube channel. You're on the YouTube grind. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at @Zills, at @Zills, ADZLLIZ on Twitter and Twitch. I'll be streaming next year as well with a few games. Obviously, GNA TV with me and Jem. Gaming adaptation as well next year as well. Real life collaboration as well coming soon. And I'll definitely be a regular on this calling show with Usmaan. And the reason why I know most of the people in this community is because of him, man. And I really appreciate you giving me the base, man. Thank you so much.
No worries, bro. You fully deserve it. And I genuinely mean that. Top lad, obviously, make sure you show him love. As always, we're here to support every single person. Thank you for calling in, and I look forward to having you on Tuesday night as well.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Right, okay, just to wrap it up, first and foremost, just want to say a massive thank you to every single person that's called in. I'm going to be very honest with you guys, if anyone is still tuning in. When we first decided to pilot this, I didn't really think anyone was going to call in. I'll be honest with you. I thought, get my brother on, get a couple other people on. However, it's overwhelming to see the amount of people that want to get involved with the channel. All you've got to do, if you're sat there, you're watching this back later, you think, I want to come over my say. All you've got to do is go to Usmaan Talks United, drop a follow, and then check out when I tweet. After every single game, we're going to do a fan calling show. It's for the fans, from the fans. At the end of the day, we're just fans. We want to talk about the game, and this is a platform for you guys to do it. If you want to do that, if you want to follow it, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can do what Az did, obviously just audio. If you don't feel like you've got the confidence to do that, all you've got to do is drop a like, subscribe to the channel, just support us any way, shape, or form. We appreciate it. But apart from that, we'll be back on Monday with a Rival Fan podcast. I'm not going to be recording tomorrow. I need to have a day off. I'm quite ill, as you probably noticed. From the watch along, I've been coughing for most of it. But I appreciate all the support, and we'll be back Monday, 7 p.m. live Rival Fan podcast. It's going to be a good one. I've been your host, Usmaan Akhtar. Peace!